Hey mom friends, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to tackle and master the love braid. And when I say we, I mean you and me. Because as of the filming of this video, Rayanne does 100% of the love braids that you see on our mums and garters. And it's really just because she learned it over time. She's very fast at it. She's very good at it. And I've just let her do it. And therefore I have not put in the practice to learn this month. Or this braid. So I want you to know that if you've been struggling with this braid, it is something that you can master. And I think the techniques that Rayanne gives you are going to be really good ones. Throughout the video, she's going to talk a little bit about the braiding consistency and how tightly you braid it and how it really determines the length of your braid. And that's why you're going to see a 5 to 6 yardage, a whole yard variation in the supplies that we give you. So just test it out and you'll determine what your true yardage is. But this one that she's done at the bottom is braided really tightly. And this one is braided a little bit looser. Most of ours are done about like this, as she'll mention. It's easier on her hands to do it this way, if we're all honest. And we do a lot of love braids throughout the year. And you'll see that even though the tightness varies from braid to braid, within each braid, the consistency is the same. And I think that's where people struggle a lot. And I think some of the techniques that Rayanne gives you will help with that. And then once you master this, just know that you can also do it in a number 9, and then once you become a real master, you can add a number 3 in there on top. It just requires holding that number 3 in place, but it does allow you to introduce a different color. And we do I actually prep a lot of these for her and just give them to her, and she does them, although she sometimes will mention the numbers that I've given her with number 3. It's just kind of a joke between the two of us. But out of all transparency, I'm going to show you when I said that I need to learn the love braid in practice. This is a love braid that Rayanne did, and as I was editing this video, I thought, you know what? I can do this. I can learn how to do this. And this is my first attempt using the techniques that she gives. It's not the folding that gives me a trouble. If the folding gives you the most trouble, we're going to put a bonus kind of video at the end where she goes really, really slow on the folding, and you might want to start there. But as you can see, where I'm struggling is that consistency and getting it a little bit tighter. And you can kind of see right here, I actually used one of the tips of not watching and trying to do more muscle memory. So watch this tutorial. If this has really given you struggles, watch this tutorial, and then, like me, just be determined to practice, 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 and I promise that it will come out really good. We do drape the majority of these, and we don't bling them out until afterwards because the bling goes on there better. And sometimes you can also add a little extender that will allow you to get a little bit more length on your love braid and not waste all that beautiful work and ribbon that you've done. And it allows you to kind of have something a little bit flatter to attach to your mum skirt, because this usually a certain section is going to be hidden underneath the crown. So there's a few tips for that. And I'm going to pass you on to Rayanne. She's going to give you some really good tips, and I will make sure that I write all of those tips out and put them at the end of the video with enough time for you to screenshot it. Let's get to mastering this braid, friends.
Hey mum friends, I wanted to show you how we start our love braids at RG Mums. This was one of the braids that was the most challenging for sure at the beginning. I can remember the first year or two, I would just almost cry. I don't want to do the love braid, and now I'm pretty comfortable with it. I wouldn't say mine are perfect by any means, but every time you do it and you practice, it gets a little better each time. And that's one of the things with this braid, is that just consistency and practicing it, doing it over and over and over again, really do help. There's a couple of things that when I was looking at starting the love braid, some people start it with a T, some people start it other ways, and this is the way that I found that was the easiest for me to follow along because it was kind of a pattern. And so what I did is I took 2 7/8 of black, 2 pieces of 7/8 of red, and a 7/8 diamond dust and a 7/8 white. We double up these. It makes the braid a little bit heavier, but it sure does help with the structure, especially when you're first learning the braid, to keep yourself from crushing it and holding it too tight, which I did totally at the beginning. But a couple other people too, when you measure this out, we measure it to 5 yards. And sometimes it can lead for a little bit longer love braid. It really depends upon the tightness of which you braid. There are some people who put out amazingly beautiful love braids that are really, really tight, but that requires a lot more yardage. I personally can't do those tight ones for very long because my hands start to hurt after a while. So a couple of people that put some amazing ones out there: Keisha from DK Florals, Melissa from Mel's Mums, and Christina from Texas Traditions. So she gave me a couple of tips on when I was braiding it. So this is what I do: is I put the 2 staples, I put the diamond dust in the middle. I will flip it over like this, an upside down V. I will fold this down, and then I will take the back one and I will fold it down as well, like so. I'm standing, which makes it a lot easier to braid, but they're going to fall to the ground for sure. So I've got it started like this: 2 down and 1 up. That's one on the back is just folded down like that. And so I kind of make it a pattern. I'm going to go up on the left, down on the left, up on the right, down on the right. And I'll start the process again: up on the left, down on the left, up on the right, down on the right. And that kind of kept it in my head pretty good to kind of remember what am I going to do next. One of the things that I have found when I'm doing it is that to help myself kind of keep the same consistency is to not stare down at the braid the whole entire time, is to kind of get it to muscle memory. And I know a lot of people tend to hold it, the whole thing, up in their hands. I can't do that because then I end up crushing it. So I just let it hang. And like I said, if I'm standing up, I usually, when it gets a little bit longer, I like to hold up against the table. But as I go, up on the right, down on the right, up on the left, down on the left, up, down, up, down. And then at one point, it's going to get really tangled like this. So when I try to deal with this middle ribbon, and I try to be able to pull that one, because that one tends to pull loose from the knots pretty easily. Not always. Sometimes they're not very cooperative. But when you do that, I don't know if I can pull this in here for you to see, but it's hanging up on the table here. When I pull it through, it will loosen up all the other stuff that's tightened around it. And like I said, you're going to be like, I can't do that. So here, now it's coming loose. So I'm pulling it through. And so then the other ones have loosened and you can work with them. So up on the left, down on the left, up, down, up, down, up, down, whoops, up, down, up. And I might stop here and try to pull it loose again, just to keep it from being all tangled. So I'll pull it all the way through. The rest of it kind of stays in. Up, down, up, down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And what I'll do sometimes is I'll be watching TV and I'll stand up behind the sofa and just braid it and not pay attention to what I'm doing, because that was a trick that Christina from Texas Tradition said. She said, don't get caught up on watching every single stroke, because if you do that, you're going to struggle and you're going to have different consistencies in your tightness. So I'm going to keep braiding it until I get to the end and show you how I finish it off. I wanted to be real here. Even I sometimes get in a mess of ribbon and they'll come into a knot. And so if it gets to be too much and I can't shake it out from the knot, I will clip these down and then I will just start working with those spots of the knot. So it's just right here and it looks crazy. But of course the diamond dust one is loose. It's just the black and the red that are problematic. So if I have to work just with those ribbons individually, then they just come loose like that, and then I can go back to braiding. Usually I will just stand there and shake it and shake it and shake it when I'm standing up, and it will start to drop out. The knots will. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you about, I know a lot of you have a hard time like, well, how do I hold it? I just found that if I just really I just kind of rest my middle finger on the back side there, and I just fold. I guess it's really that my right hand that's kind of supporting it, and I just go through like that. And then when it gets a little bit longer, I usually do find something that I can kind of rest it on, because it does get kind of heavy. But I don't, granted, it took me a couple years to get to this point of being able to maneuver it a lot easier. There are some days that I am still, it tires my hands, and I can usually do them pretty quickly, but not like 10 or 15 in a day. That's a little too much for my hands. But as I go through, I just kind of keep down, up, down, and I see it's knotted. I'm just going to pull this almond dust ribbon all the way through. And I found that typically, how it started with the black and the red, and then the diamond dust was in between it. I've found that typically if you can, when you get that one to the up point like that, it is the one you can pull through, and then the rest of it becomes unknotted. Not always, but typically. And you'll notice that ours are double backed. For me, it's just, I get used to that weight. If I just braid single layer, mine don't look very pretty because I need a little bit of extra ribbon to kind of hold the shape of the love braid. I'm getting towards the end of my braid, and I wanted to circle back and kind of reiterate a couple of things. I know I had said up, left, down, left, up, right, down, right. I want to show you that when I do put it up, and I pick up that up on the right side, I'm putting it more at an angle, at a diagonal, and then I'm putting the one down, just going straight down from where it's at. But when I go up with this, I want to be careful not to pull it in too tight. To that corner right there is important to keep the shape of the love braid neat. And so at a diagonal, and that'll come down on the edge of that ribbon that went up. And this one will come up at a diagonal on the edge of that ribbon there. And then I'll put that one down on the edge of that one right there. And so I'm just going to go through and finish that out. Because if you tend to make them tight and you're not careful with that corner, it will fold in on you, and it will affect the look of your love braid. Just going to finish it out. And I want to tell you, we use 5 yards. And if my love braid is loose, it tends to be more than a yard. If I end up braiding it really, really tight and go for a different look on the love braid, we end up less than 36 inches. So kind of like a military braid, it all depends upon how tight you braid it and what the actual measurements are. But just as a point of reference, I don't typically braid ours very tight. And so that ends up being about 5 yards. It's a little bit over a yard. So I'm going to staple it and just kind of anchor it like so. And if I look at it, I can see I kind of braided a little loose here. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not going to worry about redoing it, because then that's going to get tucked up underneath the crown of the mum. But if I follow it down, it's pretty consistent. It's not perfect. I've got some flaws in there too. But as you're braiding, the more you do it, the more consistent your braid will look. And that other tip of don't always be staring at your braid as you're braiding. For me, standing up really did help the gravity pulling it down, keeping it easier to unknot itself. And also not trying to fix the knots every single cycle of, up, left, down, left, up, right. Just go through about 3 or 4 complete cycles until that middle piece that I had talked about at the beginning is on the up side on the left again. That tends to move your braiding along. But I hope you tackle the braid. Like I said, the first year when people asked for it, I just was like, can we just please go order it? Can we please go buy it from the store? And but I stuck with it, and I feel mine's pretty consistent. I mean, there's imperfections in it for sure, but it's consistent enough that when it's on a mum and you put bling on it, that is covered and it still looks nice. Happy creating. Like this, and then I will turn it up like this. I will fold that one down like so, and then I will fold the back one down like so. And so now I've got those two parallel to one another, and then I've got the one random one. I'm going to take that back one and I'm going to fold it up and over like so, and then I'm going to take the one that was up on the left hand side and I'm going to bring it down, so that I'll have two running parallel like this. So basically I will go, now I'm going to go to the right side. I'm going to take the white one, I'm going to go up and over, and then I'll take the one that was up at an angle and I'll bring it down. So it's really an up, down process. So I'm going to go back to the left side, left, up, left, down. Right, up, and right, down.